Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Jaya Radha Govardhan Dari Shri Radhe Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramamsa Pre Rajakacharya Astota Sutta Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Gosha Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Raita Gadadhar Shri Asadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki, Tulasi Maharani Ki, Jai Gaur Premanande. All glory to the Samara Bodhis, all glory to the Samara Bodhis, all glory to the Samara Bodhis, all glory to Shri Guru, Shri Guru Anga, Shri Prabhupada.
of lunch, it's like torrents of rain, and feeling all vacant and in the world in your absence. I don't know about Krishna, he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace. In everything. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for nicely playing Mridanga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So today we continue reading from the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 20, entitled Conversation between Maitreya and Vidura, and today's text is number 35. Yava kachitvam abale dishtya sandarshanam tavam utsuno shiksha mananam kanduka kridaya manaham Yavakachitvam abale dishtya sandarshanam tavam Utsono Shiksha Mananam. Thanks. Kanduka Kridaya Manam. Kachitvam Ya Sandarshanam Tavam Sunasiksha Mananam Dukkha Kridayamana. Ya, whosoever, Va, or Kachit, anyone, Tvam, you, Abale, O beautiful girl, Dishtya, by fortune, Sandarshanam, seeing, Tava, of you, Utsunoshi, sounds like Japanese, Utsunoshi. You agitate. Ikshamananam, of the onlookers. Kanduka, with the bowl. Tridaya, by play. Manaha, the mind. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Whosoever you may be, O beautiful girl, we are fortunate in being able to see you. While playing with the ball, you have agitated the minds of all onlookers. Responsibly, whosoever you may be, O beautiful girl, we are fortunate in being able to see you. While playing with the ball, you have agitated the minds of all onlookers. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Demons arrange many kinds of performances to see the glaring beauty of a beautiful woman. Here it is stated that they saw the girl playing with the ball. Sometimes the demoniac arranged for so-called sports, like tennis, with the opposite sex. The purpose of such sporting is to see the bodily construction of the beautiful girl and enjoy a subtle sex mentality. This demoniac sex mentality of material enjoyment is sometimes encouraged by so-called yogis, who encourage the public to enjoy sex life in different varieties, and at the same time advertise that if one meditates on a certain manufactured mantra, one can become God within 6 months. The public wants to be cheated, and Krishna therefore creates such cheaters to misrepresent and delude. These so-called yogis are actually enjoyers of the world garbed as yogis. Bhagavad Gita, however, recommends that if one wants to enjoy life, then it cannot
be with these gross senses. A patient is advised by the experienced physician to refrain from ordinary enjoyment while in the diseased condition. A diseased person cannot enjoy anything. He has to restrain his enjoyment in order to get rid of the disease. Similarly, our material condition is a diseased condition. If one wants to enjoy real sense enjoyment, then one must get free of the entanglement of material existence. In spiritual life, we can enjoy sense enjoyment which has no end. The difference between material and spiritual enjoyment is that material enjoyment is limited. Even if a man engages in material sex enjoyment, he cannot enjoy it for long. But when the sex enjoyment is given up, then one can enter spiritual life, which is unending. In the Bhagavatam 5.5.1, it is stated that Brahma Sokya, spiritual happiness, is ananta, unending. Foolish creatures are enamored by the beauty of matter and think that the enjoyment it offers is real, but actually that is not a real enjoyment. I'll read the text again. Whoever you may be, O beautiful girl, we are fortunate in being able to see you. While playing with the ball, you have agitated the minds of all onlookers. Omagyan Timrandisya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yana Tasmai Shiguravan Shichtani Manobishtam Stapitam Yana Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padatinka Vanchikalpatarupishya Kripa Sindhu Pyavicha Patitanam Pavan Vaishnava Piyana Monma Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Guru Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So for those who didn't follow the narration of this particular chapter, it's Vidura is questioning Maitreya about how the material world was being created. So in this particular instance, it's described how Lord Brahma created demons, because Lord Brahma creates everyone, like all the living beings. So he created demons and they wanted to have sex with him. And so first he kind of laughed at their stupidity, but then he realized that they are serious. So he fled and then he just prayed to Supreme Lord for protection, and the Lord said, well, just cast this body, contaminated body. So he did that, and it just became the dusk, the twilight. And the demons saw this twilight as beautiful, in the form of beautiful girl, and they started, drooling for that girl, wanting to enjoy sex with her. So in this particular verse, they saw the girl playing a ball. The Vedic aphorism states Anandamaya Vyasat, Vedanta Sutra 112, which means that by nature, the Supreme is blissful. So the Supreme God, Krishna, is blissful by nature. He's not angry by nature. He's not cruel or demanding or just harsh. He's blissful. He likes to have fun with his associates. So us, we as spirit souls, being part and parcel of the Supreme, also have this nature. We all want to be happier, right? What happens is, there's an example here when you put the tamarind in the milk becomes yogurt. So when our pure love being tinged with the mode of passion, it just becomes lust. And the lust is the enemy of the spirit soul. Arjuna was inquiring Krishna what impels him to do some wrong, even though he understands that something is wrong, or maybe even sinful. Something inside him impels him to do that. It's just a lesson for every one of us. Arjuna questions Krishna not for his own sake, but for the sake of all living beings who would read Bhagavad Gita since after. So, and it's in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Which is called Karma Yoga. So Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts? Even unwillingly, as if engaged by force. And in the next text 37, Krishna gives his answer. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into, how you call it in Australia, wrath or wrath? Huh? Wrath. I heard both. Wrath. Okay, anyway. Probably being influenced by Americans. Wrath. Yeah. Which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath. And which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. So, lust, if it lasts for some time and not satisfied, is being transformed into anger, right? But if it's satisfied, it's transformed into anyone else? If it's satisfied. Yes, it says here, greed. Okay, so lust, greed, and anger are the 3 most ferocious enemies of the spirit soul. And how to deal with that? Can we suppress our lust? Can we get rid of lust? Because lust is the root cause of both anger and greed, right? So apparently we have to deal with the lust. So how we deal with that? So the spiritual process is kind of both ways. First, we develop high taste, but at the same time, we try to get rid of the lower qualities. That's the basic answer. But what to do with the lust? We may practice for many years, and we still have lust, and what to do with that? How to deal with that? So we might need to look deeper and see what is the root cause of lust. And it says that this is avidya, so it's ignorance. So we have to basically combat ignorance. by the spiritual energy. That will free us gradually from lust. So we need to bring spiritual energy into our lives, and it's crucial to be in the environment where other people practice the same thing. Because elsewhere it's we're bombarded with different images, with different messages, which is kind of infused with lust. Because the marketing departments, they need to get you lusty for something, in order to spend your money and get stuff, get things. Even though you don't need that, right? Yeah, many times I would order something online, like eBay or AliExpress, and it takes some time to get it delivered. And when it comes, the package comes, you don't even remember what was that, right? You're kind of scratching your, what did I order? So we have to be careful, because it's not only these online shops. We have some desires, and the whole universe is constructed in such a way that Krishna wants our desires to be fulfilled. But it takes some time. There is some delay, right? The processing time, like processing and like packaging, delivering. And when it comes, you may not need it. And it could be an impediment in your spiritual life, right? But it will come. So we have to be very cautious with the desires. In this purport, Srila Prabhupada says that sometimes so-called yogis, they teach something which is kind of popular. Otherwise, they won't get enough funds. Yeah. So they treat the public with what they want, actually. Just give me some money and I'll give you a mantra. Otherwise, you can do, whatever you want. I had a friend in Russia. Back then the yoga was kind of unseen yet. It didn't really get as popular as nowadays, and he thought himself very kind of prominent, like very kind of up-to-date person. He was doing yoga. I wasn't a devotee back then. I thought, wow, that's cool. So, what do you do? He said, like, different postures and stuff. And I said, well, okay, how does that help? He said, well, you can enjoy sex more than. I thought, oh, all right, maybe it's worse. So, as Srila Prabhupada says here in the purport, people want to be cheated. It's kind of subconscious. It's not that we really want to be cheated. Like recently, me and my son were searching, the car. Wanted to buy the car, and lo and behold, very nice car, very cheap. We want to be cheated, and we were cheated, so we bought it. So, why would it be so cheap? But we kind of, all right, so maybe they just really wanted to get rid of it. Maybe they go overseas and it's urgent. So we want to be cheated, we create our own, proof of that. But Prabhupada never diluted his message to the Westerners. When he came to New York, and started his center in Lower East side of Manhattan. His first followers were like all hippies, deranged, completely bewildered. They had some spiritual sort of quest, but they were basically all messed up. And Prabhupada started with kirtans, with most powerful tool, to attract to Krishna. Because sometimes we're very staunch in our practice, we're very serious, but we may lack some spiritual emotions, right? And if we are not fed with emotions, we won't stay long in Krishna consciousness. Because that's the nature of the soul. We want to be happy, as it says here. We want to be happy, and we need some happiness. And we get some during different festivals, in the association with the devotees. But it, for the most part, it can be just very hard routine, doing paraphernalia, or collecting flowers, or mopping the floor, or cooking in the heat, when it's hot, or so the kirtan is very powerful instrument of getting emotions. When you're absorbed in kirtan, Krishna can unveil, his mercy, his beauty. So it's very powerful. Like the other day, we went to Byron Bay for kirtan, and you could see, beautiful people, beautiful environment, sunshine, ocean. They enjoy. But when you go into the state when the kirtan kind of absorbs you, you could see differently on them. You could see that they're bored, actually, because the body is limited, so you cannot really squeeze a lot of happiness out of the body. It's limited, but by nature we are unlimited, and as it says here, that is not real enjoyment. Yeah, you can enjoy, nice food. You can enjoy nice association. Can enjoy some intimate relationship, but it's all limited. It proved to be true many times with practically all the people. So many divorces, and it's just a huge ratio. I don't know what a statistic is, but it's huge. Why? Because people become disappointed with the partner. Because the spirit soul, as a spirit soul, we want to, we kind of, what's the word? Huh? No, I'll just look at the dictionary because it's not my native tongue. It's not exactly, but anyway. Is there such a word as deifi? Like D-E-I-F-I? Deify. Yeah, like my God, yeah, deify. Yeah, or idealize. So we tend to deify the partner. He or she is just mortal, full of some faults. And then when we face that, we become frustrated. And so once again, our basis is the mode of passion. So that's our starting point. because we're active by nature, so we need to, and the mode of passion is kind of in between, like mode of ignorance is lower, mode of goodness is higher. So that's the starting point, right? So we need to act. Ideally, in order to elevate ourselves to the mode of goodness, right? But if we, and this activity is in the form of yagya. If it's not yagya, it brings us down. If we try hard for our own enjoyment, try and become Krishna. Like, Brahma Samhita says that the spiritual world has a form of a lotus flower, and in the center is Krishna. And then, hence there is some harmony because there is a center. In the material world, it's vacant. There's no center, per se, and there's so much fight over that chair, so to speak. So much fight. So I lost my thought what I was talking about. Yeah, lotus, before that? We're in the mode of passion, right? So if we don't perform our duty as yagya, we won't elevate our consciousness. Because, we are given so much facilities, we need to pay back. This is called yagya. And the yagya for this the Kali Yuga is Sankirtana Yagya, which sometimes kind of diminished. Like Ayendra Prabhu was very upset with that. He would many times say that we tend to forget that Sankirtana Yagya is the most important in this age. We sometimes pay more attention to other things, auxiliary to, And so if we try hard for our own enjoyment, we, in order to be successful, you really need to work hard, right? And when you work hard, you get tired. And when you get tired, it means you need to relax, right? What kind of relaxation is available? Oh, it's easy. You just go to the wine shop and get a bottle and smoke something, and that brings you down to the mode of ignorance. And ignorance is very dangerous because it keeps us in material world, in the different forms, lower forms. But Srila Prabhupada would say that it's very dangerous. And when we elevate ourselves to the mode of goodness, there is always a tinge of lower modes, even if we are in the mode predominantly in the mode of goodness, there is some tinge of, we need mode of ignorance because otherwise we won't be able to sleep, because sleep is ignorance, right? We won't be able to act if we are self-satisfied. We don't need anything, but we need to work, do something, right? So Shuddha Sattva is practically impossible in this material world for just very rare souls, but Shuddha Sattva is what constitutes the spiritual world. But the Sattva Guna, it needs to be the major part of our consciousness. And to suppress lust is a futile effort. It's impossible because lust it comes from a spiritual world because Krishna is lusty. So again, we as part, but it doesn't create any trouble in the spiritual world because it's all pure, it's all blissful. Here it's dangerous because lust is the enemy, and the root cause of the lust is ignorance. So we need to fight ignorance by bringing the spiritual energy into our consciousness. When there is light, there is no darkness, and ignorance is darkness. I will probably stop here, and if you have any comments or questions, I'll try to answer.
I have two questions. The first one about Sankirtan is that primarily like going out on Harinam and chanting in the street, or?
San means the joint, congregational san, and kirtan means loud chanting, right? So initially it's basically what you said, but then later on it also, had a connotation of book distribution.
Okay.
Which is, Brihat Mridanga as well, and Srila Prabhupada was very pleased when his books were read and distributed, right? So I would say it's both. Different sadhus, they have different opinion about that. As I mentioned, Indra Prabhu used to even criticize a little bit, putting too much emphasis on book distribution, because he said we need to chant congregationally. That's the Lord Chaitanya's movement. But again, as I said, Srila Prabhupada was very eager to distribute his knowledge through the books.
So it's getting out there into the public and distributing books and getting the holy name heard.
Ideally, the Harinam Maruchi, they have books, they chant and they have books, and immediately they can distribute books. As the boys recently on Sunday done as well. Pitambara and Chaitanya Jivana. They put Bhagavad Gitas, they had guitar, they played guitar and chanted Mahamantra, and they had books for the people.
So ideally doing both.
It's good cocktail, yeah. I think it's very rejuvenating for the spirit souls to hear the holy name and have philosophy at hand.
And with the lust, can we transform the lust to love and try to develop that love of Srila Prabhupada, of our fellow devotees, and ultimately for the deities?
Usually you cannot make milk out of yogurt, right? You can make yogurt out of milk. So by the means of material energy, you cannot do that. You can go to psychologist and try to mitigate some pangs of, but you cannot uproot it, right? But by the spiritual energy, with the spiritual energy, it's possible, and that's why it's so invaluable. What Srila Prabhupada brought to us. So you can transform yogurt into milk with the spiritual energy. Yes, the answer is yes. And sometimes Srila Prabhupada was asked, "Oh, you a sadhu? Just show me a miracle or your wonder." And he said, "Well, show him to his disciples. This is my miracle, because this is a miracle. You cannot transform yogurt into milk, but he did it." It's a process. It's a kind of long distance. It may happen instantaneously, but it's very rare. Can you switch it on?
Would you speak on yajna, sacrifice, and is it enough to think it intellectually to offer things to Krishna? Do we want to verbally? Are there more ways? How do we offer everything to Krishna?
Well, first of all, we need to understand that Krishna is the source of everything, so he supplies everything for us. He is even the fire of digestion. When you take food, you don't even think about it, but Krishna comes as the fire of digestion, digests the food. You can then transform it into energy. So, right? Krishna is the sun. You cannot see anything if there is no light. So being grateful for what we have is the beginning of yajna, right? Being grateful. Okay? So with this mentality, whatever you do as a thank you to God, is already yagya. You can go further. You can start doing some devotional service, which is, endless. If you go to any temple, heaps of service is available. But yeah, start with gratitude with what you have. It also says here about the diseased condition of the spirit soul. Right, when we come and we have to restrain ourselves. So the first step in Ayurveda, when you want to cure some disease, is admit that you are sick. You just admit that, because if you even go to the hospital and the doctors will try to cure you, but you would say, "Hey, I'm all right." Well, so what's the point? There should be some cooperation. So you acknowledge that you're sick and you need a treatment, and the specialists will help you with that. So if you acknowledge that spiritually you are not normal, yeah, so you have some lusts wandering somewhere in your mind, or you have some anger, whatever, or you don't appreciate Krishna, that means that you're in a diseased condition. So, but when you accept that as a fact, and then ask spiritual master for help, that's a perfect union. The qualified disciple and qualified spiritual master. And there would be some magic. Anyone else? No? Thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much. You know enough you want to stay.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,